Great, thanks. How was lunch? Okay, so you have like an after lunch dip now? Or always good to be right after lunch. Okay, yeah, we have a portal project at Heeren Loo Zorggroep, which is in fact the largest health institute for clients, people with intellectual disability, so not the largest health organization in the Netherlands. We also like to call them people with possibilities, and the branch is very segmented. We only have 6% of the market share, so we are largest but not very large. And you might not know us because it's not a familiar subject or familiar company. But you could know us of maybe Brandon. Was a boy a few years ago. He was tied up to a wall because nobody could take care of him. And there were, it was spread around the news, so there was a lot of, social turbulence about it, and there were questions being asked in Dutch Parliament if this was the way we treat people with an intellectual disability. So that was like a wake-up call for Heeren Loo at that time. So we started a campaign, net zo vrij als jij, just as free as you. It was an internal campaign to help our people, our employees, to ask themselves questions about how are we take care of those people. You know, autistic people, people with very low IQ. And we were asking a lot of questions to ourselves, like, well, is it okay to give them medicine so that they almost sleep all day, or restrain them? You know, some clients, they hit themselves, but is it okay to tie them up then? So it was a difficult time for the organization. And at the end of the campaign, there was a conference with the same subject. And there we also spoke about, the freedom subject. You know, give our clients more freedom. We want them to feel at home. But how can a client feel at home when he doesn't have the key of the door and the door is locked at night? But we also talked about online freedom. You know, internet, of course, or being online is very normal these days, regular, common for all of us. But for our clients, it still isn't. So when we talk about freedom for our clients, what can we do about online freedom? So when we started our portal project, we were already looking further than only an employee portal for social collaboration, etc., all the regular topics you hear about. But we also want to give clients access to our portal, and also their relatives, because most of the time, like, the parents of a client are very important too in the whole process. So we also want to give them access. Yeah. And when I started at Heeren Loo more than a year ago now, and I worked there for 3 weeks, and I saw what we had to do and what our ambition was, I asked to our IT guy who persuaded us to choose Liferay. And I have to admit my relationship towards Liferay is much better now. But, but in like a year ago, I wasn't convinced that it was a good choice for us. But okay, you know, you start in a new job and people before you, they made choices and it all seemed pretty okay and they done their homework, so okay, we moved forward. And yeah, I was looking for the big advantage. And of course it's open source and it's not Microsoft, so that's already a big relief. But on the other hand, that is all mindset. It's not practical. You still don't have a portal with that mindset. And we had to do a lot of, well, like balancing between what is standard Liferay feature, what we can use, and what do we have to do by hand, handmade, by a building team. But on the other hand, I guess you always have to do that when you're building new platforms or portals or websites. So that also isn't only a Liferay thing. So, okay, we moved forward from that. And as already just been said, we were invited in Berlin over 2 months ago with the concept of our portal project. And I'll show you the nomination video we made for that purpose. There's a little piece in Dutch with no subtitles, I'm sorry for that.
Dit is Sabine, een jonge vrouw die zichzelf graag wil ontwikkelen. En dit is Gerwin, een jonge man die met veel plezier woont en werkt in Druten. Zelfstandig wonen, leuk werk hebben en hulp krijgen bij zaken die ze moeilijker vinden. Dat is belangrijk. Heeren Loo ondersteunt hen en helpt hen bij de diverse keuzes die zij kunnen maken.
Yeah, we still have a lot to do. Even now, we're 2 months, or maybe a month further in time. But of course, that's also fun. So this is what we actually do. We say, okay, we have like a Liferay base, and we're going to make 3 portals in the end. Now we're focusing on the employee portal and the client portal, but we also do a portal for the relatives of the client, to make sure you understand. Or you can talk like it's one portal, but you have like 3 access points. And of course, there is a lot of infrastructure and applications in Heeren Loo that we want to connect to those portals. So that will be one of our big challenges for the coming years, because we have done some of our applications, but not all of them. So that's a lot of work. To be honest, I think a portal project is a connections project. You know, all the rest of it is nice to do, and you think about functionality, and you, of course, you have to do a lot of other stuff too. But in the end, the big trick is to make all the connections to your existing infrastructure and applications. All of that is a part of our big online program, so I won't bother you with that, but of course we try to make it a part of all the rest we do in online communication. So the client portal. What we really would like to give to our clients is a safe and personalized way to access the internet. So for instance, some people, they can't make a choice out of more than 2. So when you put like a 3rd button or choice in your interface, they're already lost. There are also people who only can use like a hamburger button to make a choice. So they don't have a mouse, they can touch the touch screen. So we have to think about that too. And now we start with a very basic portal, I think. They can access a simplified interface of YouTube. They can enter an application with pictures. You saw that in the video. We already have a new interface now, I have to say. But in the end, we would also like to give them access to their own file, to their own dossier, their case file. So maybe not all of it, but it would be great if a client can see his own medication program, or maybe which nurse will there be today at his home, things like that. And then the relatives portal, of course you want to give them the same opportunities. They want to see the case file of their son or daughter or brother who lives at Heeren Loo. Or maybe they want video access to communicate. But also, and I think that's a really important feature, we make those relatives the content managers of the client's portal. So they can, of course, select YouTube videos and pictures for their relative, our client. So we have to find solutions for that in Liferay, because it's all about very different type of content manager. We have different users, we have different portals, but it's all on the same Liferay environment. And then we have the employee portal. You just saw some pictures of it. Yeah, you saw already. Of course, it's responsive, because my dream is that one of my colleagues can go to a house where clients live with their iPad. iPad already knows where they are, what location, so already knows which clients live there. So it will automatically give you the right information to do your job. And we still have to do, well, let's say 2020, no, but we have to make a lot of steps, but we are now making the first, and we will launch the employee portal before the summer. So that will be a first step in further development on that. It has some social collaboration tools. We have like the internal Twitter, which we call Say Hello. We have a blog feature and a wiki feature, etc. You can make your own page if you want. And of course, there are also like the news feature and what event is coming up, etc. And we did one connection to our document management system via Liferay. So we have a connection with DECOS, that's our document management system. So depending on in which region you work, you will find the proper protocols. For instance, for a client who is epileptic wants to go in bath, and so what's the approach? There's a protocol for that, but there can be a difference between different regions within our company, don't ask me why. And then you want to show the proper file immediately and not bother somebody with endless search results. Yeah, we play Liferay Bingo now at the marketing and communications department. I think that's a result of this kind of project. So there were all kind of terms that I never heard before, because I'm a communication guy, not an IT guy. But now I talk about solars and leucine and whatever, and sometimes I even understand. Okay, some facts and figures just to leave you with. So we're building 3 portals, connect to different locations or applications. I already thought about that. We have some suppliers to do that, also for the graphic development. We work with iProfs and also own IT staff. Of course, they have to learn Liferay also. So that's also a challenge for us. We invest approximately $500,000 a year, last year and this year. I also hope next year, but I don't know yet. And we have like 15,000 users on both portals. So Heeren Loo is like a one-to-one organization almost. And I think that's a big challenge for our organization. Our infrastructure is a little outdated, maybe because we are in healthcare, I don't know. So the budget is tight. But for instance, we don't even have like a proper single sign-on solution. So it gives us some extra challenges in things like user provisioning, passwords, etc. Oh yeah, and of course I have to mention het mooiste contactfonds van het KPN, because they add some budget to our client portal, substantial. Yeah, can someone please switch off the sound? Sorry, I just put that in because it is one of the standard questions we now ask when we don't know it anymore. Then somebody says, well, maybe you should switch off solar, and then everything will sort out. Okay, so, well, you already gave it away, but indeed, after the nomination video, we also won the award in Berlin, which was, of course, encouraging. But as said, we still have a lot to do. I'm happy with Liferay now, I can assure you that. And as already said, I think that's an important takeout. To make all the connections with the existing infrastructure is the biggest challenge we have in our portal project. So I'll leave the last minutes for some discussion or questions. So interesting if you want to know something more.
Yeah. If you have any questions, we'll happily bring the mic to you. Is there any questions at this point about the project? Anything that Harry talked about?
I know there are.
Over there? Yeah.
Would you have chosen Liferay now, and if so, why?
Yes, I would. Well, I have to be honest on this subject because, of course, I am the communication guy, so most of the time I go to IT and I tell them, it doesn't matter to me as long as it works. So maybe you're asking the wrong guy, but no, to be precise on that, I think it's good for Heeren Loo that we made this choice. When I was in Berlin at the Intranet Reloaded conference, I heard a lot of people talk about their portals and their technical solutions, and of course then you also speak to the SharePoint community, and in a way they have the same challenges. And I think the open source approach of Liferay, the service that we get when we have a technical problem, and how they help us to figure it out, and of course also the costs are well, they would make that I would make the same choice again. Is that okay?
Okay. Any more questions? We have some time now, so if you have a question, feel free to ask over there.
What about adoption? I mean, are people using it? Are they all using it? Or?
No, because that's very exciting for us now. As I said, we will the employee portal will go live. I think the 16th of July. So we are starting our campaign, and now we choose to do it relatively late. Yeah, and of course it's a big question for us too. Of course, we already have a employee portal at the moment, and I think this one is much better, so that will help. But features like editing your own profile page, for instance, I'm curious too. So maybe I'll talk about that next year.
Any more questions? Back there? Maybe we can bring the mic over there. Yeah?
Do you or are you going to involve your clients in user acceptance testing?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we already did, and we still do that. We start with dream sessions a few years ago to ask them what they want and what features they want, and after that we had several moments to test what we made. And to be honest, for instance, for the most difficult group of clients, it's almost a trial and error process, because you can't ask them what interface would you like, what options do you want to have, because they can't answer it. So the only way for us is to bring the experts in and take a best guess, then bring it to our clients and let them play with it and see what happens. Yeah, but to be honest, I would love to do it more. But of course, it's also it would also cost a lot of money, because when we would try, every time we try something and it doesn't work, we have to do it again. So we try to make a very best guess every time. Yeah. Is it okay answer? Okay, thank you.
Right.
Any more? Over there.
How does one of your customers with limited abilities log into the portal there?
Great question. we built two choices. You have the regular option, because there are also clients who can type and it's okay, or maybe the relative or one of our employees will log in for them. But we also developed a picto pin. So they see like 9 pictures, and for example their parents are in it. So when they choose their parents, they log in. So, but you can ask some security questions on that one. But for now, because we only do like the YouTube and the pictures, and I think it's okay. And in the future, when we also will unlock maybe some medical data, then we have to rethink that again, I think. On the other hand, when you have like 9 pictures of, for instance, 9 different flowers, and you have to pick 4 out of them, I think that's almost as safe as a 4-digit number. But it's a good question, and it was puzzling us for a long time, and we still haven't fixed it for the full 100%. So we have to do some work on that. More?
Okay,
No?
if there are no more questions, thank you
Thank you.
very much for your presentation.
Thank you.